Hey guys, I'm going over my year of 2024. It's been a crazy year, huge grind year. I finally hit my income goal. It's over 6 figures, third year and super excited. I know 2025 has a lot holding for me. We just got to set the plan in place and get rolling on it. But these are the 4 lessons I've learned this year that really made a huge elevation in my business. It's some mostly soft skills, I would say, but they made the biggest difference on me. And I want to share it with you guys. Lesson number 1, lead or be led. So this one is a huge thing for me, still something that I work on to this day. I was that agent who didn't want to seem pushy, didn't want to push someone in a certain direction. I thought, hey, if I gave you all the information you needed, you would know what to do moving forward and you'll make the right decision from there, right? No, because left to their own devices, people will do what they want, thinking that's how it's gonna get their goal, and really from a fear-based perspective as well. So what people usually are hiring for, even though they're not saying it, is that they need someone to guide them, to lead them, to say, here, take my hand, this is exactly what we're gonna do to get exactly what you want, and you're gonna believe in me because I'm confident in what I do. And I lost a lot of listings just giving information, hoping they'll pick me, instead of saying, let's sign with me, let's do this, let's go ahead, right? Because at the end of the day, what I found is that people are not just gonna reach out to you and say, hey, let's meet today. Like, I need to list my house, let's meet today. It's one of those things where you're gonna have to say, hey, let's do this. We're gonna meet at this time and this time. Which time works better for you? And we're gonna talk about this and this. People like an agenda, So that was a big thing for me. Lead or be led. Lesson number 2 is break character. And when I say that, I mean by break the script. And I'm not saying the scripts are important. Trust me, I've spent 2023, 2024 learning the right things to say, the right way to say it, how to come across. But sometimes to really connect to a person, you just have to let go of all of that and speak to them as a person. Break the script, break the character. If you don't know how to say it, and I used to just be this person, right? Like, I didn't know how to say something without it coming across as maybe rude or too blunt, and I just wouldn't say it. I would just accept whatever they were saying, and I'd just be like, okay, let me not be too pushy. Okay, let's meet later. But when you're breaking character, sometimes that itself gives them a realization that they're speaking to a person, and that helps them break down a little bit, break the barriers, and you can get to the root cause of things. For example, have you ever, as a real estate agent, speaking to someone and they're pretty much aligned on all the goals? They want to list their property now, they're okay with that price point, they're ready to go, and then you go for the appointment and they just say, hey, well, actually, I'm not really ready. Call me back in a couple weeks. And for me, I didn't know how to say, what do you mean you're not ready? You just said yes to everything. And I was afraid of how it would come across if I asked it like that. So I'd be like, okay, let me not be too pushy. Let's just wait a couple weeks. But now, it doesn't matter. You can just say, oh, you seem still hesitant of meeting. What is it that you're hesitant about? I find that way, that approach is gonna actually have you connect with the person more rather than being scared of being blunt or rude, and that actually lets down their barrier and get to the meeting sooner rather than wait 2 weeks. All right, so always be authentic and break the script. Lesson number 3 is everything is a choice, and it's a choice that you make to become the person you want to be. So I listen to a lot of Joe Dispenza, and he goes into a lot of making that choice to be a better person, right? Because the hardest habit to break is the habit of being yourself. So if you want to be someone completely different, you're just gonna have to make that choice to be that different person. Being that different person, that person that you want to be is probably making different choices than you. So for me, this was a hard one, right? Because I was getting to kind of understand my body during this time. For me to perform at the highest level, I'm gonna have to wake up before I start prospecting and run at least a mile. I cannot eat any carbs or meat during the day or I'll get very, very sleepy. If I want to sleep well during the night and sleep through the night, I'm gonna have a gym session, a strength lifting gym sessions towards the evening, I can eat whatever for dinner, but also noted that it shouldn't be anything fried or heavy on the red meat because I'll feel groggy the next day. I should get at least 8 hours if I want to feel fresh and ready to go the next day. So all of this really adds up. You see how many decisions I cannot fuck up on, and all these decisions and choices, they add up to make me perform higher and become that person. So yeah, all the decisions add up. It's not by every hour, it's not by every day, it's just a decision you make every minute, every second. And if you want to play at that level, it's going to be to the minute and detail level. My coach always says, it doesn't matter how you feel, it matters what you do despite how you feel each and every single day is the separation between you and the competition. And it's true, because a lot of the time I will succumb to my feelings. I felt like I'm kind of burnt out, I work so much, but just doing it anyway, I find that I got an appointment, and that alone, if I succumb to my feelings, I probably wouldn't have done that. So biggest thing to my business was just doing the thing. Do it no matter how you feel, do it anyway, all right? So do it, be it, and everything's a choice. Lesson number 4, to grow your business, you're just gonna have to work on your business. What that means for me is just that I'm just gonna be working overtime forever, always, 24/7, right? So yeah, that was one of those things where I realized, like, in the beginning, I got distracted a lot once I started getting more transactions, and that would stop me from prospecting and getting to how I got there in the first place. So then 3 months later, I would lose, my pipeline would be empty and I would have to start over. So what I learned is that I'm gonna have to do the baseline minimum work of 30 to 40 contacts a day, and then I could work on my transactions. Now at a point where I'm trying to add another pillar into my business, and still, if I want to get that working, I'm going to still have to make sure I do 30, 40 contacts a day and make sure I still get the amount of appointments and contracts and listings, and delegate everything else. And if I want to build systems to make sure I get another pillar in with, for me, I'm trying to get inbound leads next year. If I want to build those systems, I'm going to have to do that on top of what I am doing now currently to grow that. So yeah, never stop working, but put a smile on when you do, because it's all for good and fun, all right? Keep going, keep growing. So yeah, guys, that's the 4 lessons that I felt made the biggest impact to my business the year. Of course, it's an ongoing process. I'm hoping to do better and bigger things in 2025. That made me go from 20 listings taken to 32 in 2024. I'm learning, and most of them is soft skills, and you wouldn't believe it's really the soft skills that will also make you better. Those technical skills will definitely help, but none of it will matter if you don't execute. So hope this helped. If it did, like, share, and subscribe.